More than 1,500 people move to Central Florida every single week. And most of them make the same 5 expensive mistakes because nobody told them and nobody showed them a plan before they even showed up. This video is the plan. Now, before we get into it, I made this presentation on a PDF format, and it's called the 2026 Central Florida Relocation Playbook. Before we get into it, I turned this presentation into a free downloadable guide, and it's called 2026 Central Florida Relocation Playbook. It has a full 30 days checklist, a neighborhood comparison matrix, a cost of living breakdown, and all the questions you need to ask to every agent, every lender, and every builder. Now, let's get into it. Here is exactly what we're covering today. 7 areas. And if you're moving to Central Florida in the next 30 days to 90 days, every single one of these is going to matter. Number 1 is where most people waste the most time. Number 5 is where most people lose the most money. And number 7, I'm saving that one for last because it's the one that nobody talks about and almost everyone gets it wrong. Let's get into it. The single biggest mistake relocating families make is falling in love with the home before they understand the community around it. I've seen it happen dozen and dozen of times. Someone files in, tours 3 houses, pick the nicest one, and 6 months later, they're frustrated because the commute is brutal, the school isn't what they expected, and the HOA is 3 times what they budgeted. So, here is the framework I use with every relocation client before we even look at a single listing. The first question is always, what is your primary employer and where are they located? Lake Nona Medical City, Disney, Lockheed Martin, Amazon, the tech corridor near UCF. Each one of those has a different commute sweet spot neighborhood. Don't live in Claremont if you're commuting to Lake Nona daily. That math doesn't work. Second question, what are your non-negotiable for schools? If A-rated public schools are the priority, Seminole County and parts of Orange County around Winter Garden or Oviedo are going to be your strongest option. If you're open to private schools, your geographic flexibility opens up significantly. Third question, what does your lifestyle look like? What do you want? Do you want walkability? Do you want a small town feel? Do you want acreage? Do you want waterfront? Do you want a master plan amenities? Those answers point to completely different zip codes. I've put a neighborhood comparison matrix in the relocation playbook in the description. It maps out 10 different communities across school ratings, price, HOA structure, commute times, and lifestyle score. Use it before you book a flight, all right? This is the one that catches out-of-state buyers completely off guard. They run the mortgage calculator, they see the monthly payment, they think they understand their budget, and then they close on a home in Florida and realize the real monthly number is 20 to 30% higher than planned. Here's what the mortgage calculator doesn't show you. Number 1, HOA fees. Nearly every master plan community in Central Florida has one. They range from $100 a month in base communities to a $500 plus in a gated, amenity-rich development. Budget for this. Number 2, CDD fees. I cannot stress that enough. That is Community Development District fees, and that is an extra annual assessment. Sometimes it goes between $2,000 to $4,000 a year, and that covers infrastructure costs in newer developments. A lot of buyers don't find out about CDD until they're sitting at the closing table. Ask about this on every single property you are considering. Number 3, the homeowner's insurance. This is the Florida most expensive surprise. The statewide insurance market has been volatile. Here in Central Florida, depending on your zip code, home age, and coverage level, please don't forget, budget for $300 to $500 a month, not $100, not $150, $300 to $500. And number four, property taxes. Orange County runs approximately between 1 and 1.6% assessed value annually. On a $600,000 home, that's roughly $7,000 to $8,000 a year, about $500 to $600 a month. Apply for a homestead exemption the January after you close, and that's going to remove up to $50,000 from your assessed value, and it's going to save you between $400 to $600 a year. Number five, utilities. Florida AC runs all over the year. You have to budget between $200 to $350 a month for homes over 2,500 square feet. New construction with modern HERS rated insulation will run lower than an older resale. Add those 5 layers on top of your mortgage and you will have an accurate picture of what home ownership actually costs in this market. I've built a cost estimator into the relocation playbook. Input your target price and it's going to calculate the full monthly number for you. School quality is the number one driver for relocation families, and the data tells a more nuanced story than a Zillow school rating filter will show you. Here is what I tell every single family who asks me about schools in Central Florida. The county matters more than city. Seminole County is a consistently one of the top performance school districts in Florida. If schools are your primary criteria, that's your starting point. Orange County has excellent schools too, but it's more variable. The difference between an A-rated zone and a C-rated zone can literally be 2 streets apart. Communities with the strongest school reputation near the most popular relocation corridors are Winter Garden feeds into West Orange High, one of the strongest public high schools in Orange County. Oviedo and Lake Mary are in the Seminole County, consistently also top rated. Lake Nona has newer schools with strong trajectories and STEM focus that aligns with the medical city workforce. 2 things to research that most people skip. Please take note on that, all right? First, check the annual school boundary map, not just the community advertised school name, okay? Boundaries shift. A community built in 2023 may feed into a different school than the same community phase 1 from 2019. You have to verify on the district's official website. And second, look at the teacher retention rate and the school's growth trajectory, not just the current rating. A school that is trending upward in a growing community is often better than a stagnant A-rated school in a declining area. Keep that in mind. And private school options are excellent across Central Florida if you're open to that. Foundation Academy in Winter Garden, Trinity Preparatory in Maitland, First Academy in Orlando, all worth a visit if public school zoning is a constraint for your target neighborhood. I help out-of-state buyers close on Central Florida homes every single month without ever setting foot in the state until the final walkthrough. And the process is repeatable and safe whenever you do it right. So here's the framework. Step number 1, get fully pre-approved before you do anything else. Not pre-qualified, all right? Pre-approved. In a market where motivated sellers want confidence, a pre-approval letter from a credible lender is what separates your offer from the stack. If you're using Pulte Mortgage or any other builder's preferred lender, for example, get an outside pre-approval as well. You need that leverage. Step number 2, use video strategically. A good agent here in Central Florida should always be able to do a live FaceTime or a video walkthrough with you. And of course, on a property that you're seriously considering. They're going to need to point out things that is going to not show up on listing photos. So water stains, lot grades, proximity to high tension lines, and also the quality of finishes in person versus how they are in the photo. This is non-negotiable, all right? If an agent won't do this for you, please go ahead and find a different one. Step number 3, never waive. Never, never, never waive inspection. I don't care how hot the market is or how much you want the house, a thorough inspection, and in Florida, that means a 4-point inspection minimum plus a wind mitigation report, projects your insurance premiums and catches issues before they become your problem. Please budget $400 to $600 for a full inspection package. Step number 4, understand your contract contingencies. Florida standard as is contract gives buyer an inspection period, typically 10 to 15 days. Use every day of it, okay? Review the HOA documents, the CDD disclosure, the seller's property disclosure, and the community rules. These documents contain information that materially affects your decision. So do not skip those. Step number 5, plan your one in-person visit strategically. I recommend this timing. After you narrowed to 2 to 3 communities remotely, fly in for a focused 2 or 3 day trip. See the shortlisted home in person, drive the commute at peak hours, eat lunch in the neighborhoods you're considering, visit the school, and by that point, you're going to have the look and feel of the context to make a decision with confidence. Quick pause before we get into the financial trap, because here is where I see people's eyes go completely wide. If you're watching this and you're already in your relocation timeline, the most valuable thing that I can offer you is a 30-minute relocation strategic call with me. In that call, I'm going to cover a few things with you. We're going to cover budget. We're going to cover your employer location. We're going to cover your family lifestyle to make sure the community and the area we select is going to be the best one for you and for your family. No sales pitch, just great information based on your priorities, based on your timelines. Calendar link is in the description below. This is the one that costs people the most money, and it's almost always avoidable with the right information. Here are the top 5 Florida financial traps I see relocators fall into repeatedly. Trap number 1, buying in a community with high CDD without understanding the payoff timeline. CDD fees can run for 20 to 30 years on some communities. That's real money. Sometimes we're talking about $50,000 to $100,000 over the life of your ownership and on top of your mortgage. You should always ask, what is the remaining CDD balance? What is the annual assessment? Can it be paid off at closing? Trap number 2, underestimating Florida insurance. I've had clients budget $1,800 a year for homeowners insurance. It's a reasonable number coming from Midwest, for example, and their first Florida quote came in at $5,400. Why? The Florida insurance market has been under significant stress. Get insurance quotes before you finalize your offer, all right? So if you can't get affordable coverage, the home is not the right purchase at that price. Trap number 3, skipping the homestead exemption. You must apply for this as soon as you can. It's not automatic. You file it in January following the years of your purchase, and that's through the County Property Appraiser's Office website. It's free, okay? It saves you $400 to $600 a year for as long as you own that home and for as long as you live in that home. So set a reminder right now. Trap number 4, going directly to the builder without representation. Here's something the builder sales rep will not tell you. You can have your own agent represent you at no cost to you in a new construction transaction. The builder pays the commission, all right? It's not you. And an experienced buyer's agent is going to negotiate for you upgrades, lot premiums, closing cost contributions, and rate buy down. Just walk into a model home loan and you're at a structural disadvantage. Trap number 5, ignoring flood zone and insurance risk by location. Most of Central Florida is inland and lower risk for flood, but not all of it. Okay, so if you're looking at a waterfront or low-lying property, check FEMA's flood map before you make an offer. Flood insurance is separate from homeowners insurance and can add $1,000 to $3,000 a year to your cost of ownership. All right, so let's make this concrete. If you have only 30 days until your target move date, here's what each week should look like. I don't know, take a screenshot, pause the video, take notes, whatever. A few things that is worth calling out on this timeline. The insurance quote process. Starting week 1, not week 3. Florida carriers, they can decline coverage on certain property types or require remediation before they will write a policy. You do not want to find out about this 48 hours before closing. Moving companies. Summer in Florida is peak season. Good crews book out 4 to 6 weeks. So if you're moving June through August and you call a mover 2 weeks out, your options are going to be limited and, of course, expensive. And the driver's license and vehicle registration, Florida law requires you to transfer within 30 days of becoming a Florida resident. It's easy and it unlocks the homestead exemption eligibility. Don't put it off, all right? I told you I was saving this one for last, and here it is. The number one mistake I see relocating buyers make is this. They rush the neighborhood decision and slow down the financial preparation. It's exactly backwards. Here's what it looks like in practice. They spend weeks on Zillow and YouTube building a deep emotional attachment to a specific home or community before they've gotten pre-approved, before they've understood the total cost of ownership, before they've talked to anyone who actually lives there. And when they finally do the financial work, they discover the community they love is $200 a month over their real budget when you factor everything. Now they have a choice between the home they've built emotional equity in and the budget reality. And they almost always choose the home, right? That's what everybody does. And sometimes that works out, sometimes that doesn't. But sometimes it means financial stressful month 1 in a new state, away from their support network with a fresh mortgage they didn't fully model. The fix is simple. Financial clarity first, then neighborhood selection, then home search. In that order, not the other way around, okay? You have to know your real all-in monthly number before you fall in love with anything. That number, mortgage, HOA, CDD, insurance, taxes, utilities, is what determines which communities are genuinely available to you. Once you know it, your neighborhood shortlist writes itself. And then the homes you search is going to be focused, efficient, and emotionally sustainable. That's the framework. That's what I always walk every single relocation client through before we look at a single listing. Before we close, let me give you the financial case for Central Florida in 30 seconds. Just take a look at the table on the right of the screen. Because this is a context where math makes sense for high earners. If you're earning $150,000 a year and you move from New York to Central Florida, you keep an extra $10,000 in your pocket every year, just from the state income tax difference. That's our HOA fee paid for the next 3.5 years. That's crazy, right? And that's a meaningful number, and if it compounds every year for you to live here. Add to that, property taxes in Orange County run about 1.5% over the assessed value, and that's lower than the national average. All right, I really hope you enjoyed this Central Florida relocation framework. My goal here is just to ensure you get enough information to make your move super light, right? Take the burden out of your back. Make sure you have fun while moving to Central Florida. And remember, the relocation playbook is totally free. Just click on the description below, download it, and make great use of it. And again, if you also need someone to help you, feel free to book a strategic call with me. It's not going to take any more than 30 minutes, and I'm going to guide you through everything you need to make sure you make a better life decision. This is Pedro, and thanks for watching my new YouTube video, and I'll see you on the next one.